Before we dive into paint colors or tile selections, we must first understand the soul of the farmhouse. To design a farmhouse correctly, you have to think like the pioneers and farmers who invented it. When early settlers built their homes, they didn't have access to global supply chains or exotic materials. They built with whatever was available on their land. They milled their own timber. They gathered stones from their own fields to build their fireplaces. And they designed their roofs to shed heavy snow and torrential rain. The philosophy of the farmhouse is rooted in structural honesty. If there's a beam crossing the ceiling, it should be there because it is holding up the roof, not just glued on for decoration. If there's a porch, it should be deep enough to actually sit on and seek shelter from the summer sun. This is what we call form following function. When you apply this mindset to modern design, you create a home that feels incredibly authentic. You stop chasing perfection, and you start embracing patina. You welcome materials that age gracefully, wood that dents, brass that tarnishes, and leather that scuffs. In a farmhouse, a scratch on the hardwood floor isn't a disaster, it is a memory. It is a record of a life well lived. This shift in perspective, from demanding pristine showrooms to cultivating a hardworking living environment, is the absolute foundation of farmhouse beauty. The exterior of a farmhouse must immediately communicate a sense of shelter and welcome. It is an architecture designed to stand strong against the elements, while offering a protective embrace to anyone who approaches. The defining silhouette of the farmhouse relies heavily on its roofline. You will almost always see steep, dramatic gables. Historically, this steep pitch was designed to quickly shed heavy snow and rain, while providing a massive attic space to store harvested goods or house farmhands. Today, those steep gables create soaring, vaulted ceilings inside the home. When it comes to siding, the quintessential choice is bright, crisp white. But the texture of that white matters immensely. Authentic farmhouses frequently utilize board-and-batten siding, a technique where wide vertical planks are joined by thin vertical strips, or battens, covering the seams. This creates a beautiful, rhythmic shadow line across the exterior of the house as the sun moves across the sky, giving the home a tall, stately, and highly textured appearance. But the true hallmark of the exterior, the absolute non-negotiable element, is the wraparound porch. Before the invention of air conditioning, the porch was the most important room in the house. It provided a deeply shaded outdoor space where the family could escape the heat of the day, catch a passing breeze, and process vegetables from the garden. To design a beautiful farmhouse today, the porch must be deep, at least 8 feet deep, allowing plenty of room for rocking chairs, a porch swing, and a place to kick off muddy boots. It serves as the ultimate transitional space, blurring the line between the rugged outdoors and the cozy indoors. If the porch is the welcoming handshake of the farmhouse, the kitchen is its beating heart. In historic homes, the kitchen was a center of survival. It was where meals were cooked, where the home was heated, and where the family gathered for warmth. Today, the modern farmhouse kitchen honors that legacy by prioritizing massive, durable, and highly functional workspaces. The absolute star of the farmhouse kitchen is the apron-front sink. Originally designed for women who spent hours washing large pots, scrubbing clothes, and prepping massive harvests, the apron-front or farmhouse sink juts out slightly past the cabinetry. This ergonomic design prevents you from having to lean over a strip of countertop, saving your lower back. Whether crafted from heavy, glossy white fire clay or hammered copper, it is a piece of utilitarian sculpture. Cabinetry in a farmhouse should be simple and unpretentious. The shaker door style, characterized by a flat center panel and square edges, is the universal standard. It has no fussy molding or ornate carvings to collect dust. To break up the heaviness of upper cabinets, designers frequently incorporate open, floating shelves made from thick, reclaimed timber. These shelves display everyday items, stacks of white ironstone plates, glass jars of flour, and well-loved ceramic pitchers. This keeps the space feeling open, accessible, and deeply personal. Finally, the kitchen island must be monumental. It is not just a prep space, it is the dining table, the homework desk, and the central gathering point of the entire home. When you transition into the great room, the primary living space, the design must balance the grand architectural volume of the home with an overwhelming sense of coziness. In a farmhouse, you are often dealing with vaulted ceilings that follow the steep pitch of the roof. Left empty, a vaulted ceiling can feel cold and cavernous. The solution is timber. Exposed wooden beams are the crown jewels of the farmhouse living room, but they should never look brand new or manufactured. The best designs source reclaimed timber, wood salvaged from century-old barns, factories, or agricultural buildings. These beams carry the scars of their past, nail holes, saw marks, and deep, rich patinas that cannot be faked in a modern factory. They visually lower the ceiling, wrapping the room in a canopy of organic warmth. Anchoring this grand space is the hearth. A true farmhouse requires a massive, commanding fireplace. Instead of sleek marble or polished tile, the farmhouse fireplace relies on natural, irregular fieldstone or classic brick finished with a German smear or overgrouting technique to give it an aged, historic appearance. The furniture surrounding the hearth must prioritize absolute comfort over formal stiffness. This is why slip-covered sofas are a staple of the style. They are soft, oversized, and completely unpretentious. If a dog jumps on the sofa or a child spills a drink, you simply pull the heavy cotton slipcover off and throw it in the wash. It is the ultimate expression of a home designed for real, messy, beautiful living. No home design reveres the concept of utility quite like the farmhouse, and nowhere is this more evident than in the mudroom. Historically, farmers needed a dedicated space to strip off muddy boots, wet coats, and dirty work clothes before entering the pristine domestic spaces of the home. Today, whether you live on 50 acres or in a suburban cul-de-sac, the mudroom acts as the essential buffer zone, the organizational powerhouse that keeps the rest of the house calm and clean. Because the mudroom sees the heaviest, dirtiest foot traffic, the flooring must be virtually indestructible. Wide plank hardwoods are beautiful, but in the mudroom, you want materials born from the earth. Dark slate tiles, natural bluestone, or classic red brick laid in a beautiful herringbone pattern are exceptional choices. They hide dirt effortlessly, they can be mopped aggressively, and they add incredible, rugged texture to the space. The walls of the mudroom are dedicated entirely to functional storage. Custom built-in cabinetry, often backed with classic vertical beadboard paneling, provides a dedicated drop zone for every member of the family. Heavy-duty cast iron hooks are essential for hanging winter coats and backpacks, while solid oak benches provide a sturdy place to sit and unlace your boots. In a luxury farmhouse, this space will also include a deep utility sink, perfect for washing the dog, rinsing out paintbrushes, or soaking heavily soiled clothes. The mudroom proves that a space designed purely for hard work can possess its own unique, highly organized beauty.